I like Coke.
Hello?
Good. Hello, hello.
Hello?
The World Cup.
Really?
Hello.
Really? Hello everyone, Afghanistan head coach Mr. Jonathan Trott here. If you guys have any question for tomorrow's match.
Hello. Hi. Hi, John.
Hello.
2 matches, 2 defeats, 2 contrasting performances. In the sense, first match batting didn't work. Second match, it was a decent score. The bowling didn't work. How do you think how we will go address the issues and go about it?
How do I?
I said 2 matches, two contrasting
What's
performances.
the question then?
The first match, 156, the batting didn't work. The second match, it was a decent score, 272. The bowling didn't work. How do you look to address the issues and go about it coming forward?
Well, I think in the past we've done better. I think it was obviously disappointing the first game, and certainly to start a World Cup like that after having a good warm-up game against Sri Lanka, complete contrast in that. So I think with the side developing and going forward, there's always going to be a little bit of inconsistency, but that's the things that we need to work on, because at times we do things really well, like we did in the India game. We did a lot of things well, but at times we didn't get things right, and we've got to get, especially with 100 overs of cricket, we need to get close to 100 overs of cricket right. At times we get 70, 80% of it right, but the other 20 or 30% that we don't get right really ends up costing us. So um, those are the things. So starting tomorrow, well, obviously starting the game well is going to be crucial against a very strong England side. But going forward for the rest of the competition as well, we need to start better with bat and ball and set the standard of how we want to play our cricket.
Jonathan, your team has fairly young fast bowlers in say Naveen and Fazal Haq and even Omar Zai. So when you play a team like England who are going to try to attack from the start, how do you sort of instill the idea of keeping your chin up in a game like this? Because you can get hit from the very beginning. So how do you sort of instill that idea that you need to keep your chin up in a game like this and not lose your way in terms of a bowling plan?
Well, I think it's not a case of keeping your chin up. I think it's being a case of using the new ball well and being effective, and hopefully getting some early wickets will then allow us to put the pressure on to England. We weren't able to do that against India, so we saw the results of that. If you're not able to do that and not be able to be effective with the new ball or accurate enough. So those are the things we want to get right with the new ball. But it's not just that. It's starting the field. Fielding is going to be crucial because Delhi is such a high scoring game. So if we can save 10, 15, 20 runs somewhere, we don't have to make that if we're chasing or whether batting first. We have to defend well when we're fielding and bowling. So just more consistency and just a higher level all around really.
Jonathan, regards to tomorrow's opposition, you might be knowing many of your opposition players very well. So, what sort of maybe inside information or cutting edge information that is not readily available to outsiders would you be giving to your players?
I'm not sure it's cutting edge, but yes, there's obviously a good knowledge of the players from my side, but I'm not going to be out there playing. It's about how they execute those plans and how they use that knowledge and how to the best of their ability, whether they can sort of convert that into performance. I think nowadays also with so much cricket played all around the world in franchises, a lot of players would have played with a lot of the English players. So it's not just me who has a bit of knowledge of the side. So it's not solely reliant on me because of my background, but it's a case of as a team coming together and using whatever information or experience we have of playing with or against England. So it makes for an exciting game. I know, I'm certainly looking forward to it, and I know the rest of the players are as well.
Thanks. Trotter, you've mentioned consistency a couple of times, and you've talked about that a lot before. Do you feel like you're getting any closer with this side in, I guess, being able to unlock whatever it is that is going to bring that consistency?
Well, yeah, I think you see, stages of it. We saw it in the India game where we had partnerships, a decent partnership, and then we just didn't. It wasn't just for long enough. So there are things that we are improving at, but we got to put them together into one game, and that's what the good teams do, and they do that a lot of the time. So it's the 50 over format is a long time. A lot of ebbs and flows, and it's just about controlling the emotions and making sure that we get ourselves back in the game if things don't go well at a certain stage, to be able to fight back. There's a lot of fight in the dressing room. It's about being able to sort of use the knowledge and not rely solely on the players who are experienced. It's about the younger players stepping up now and also making an impact. So I'm looking to those guys certainly as well.
Does this side have the ability to upset England?
I think this side's got the ability to upset any side, really. We've been so close in previous matches. It's just about getting over the line and making sure that we do. And just when the occasion comes, we'll have an opportunity tomorrow to put pressure on England, and we've got to make sure we do that.
Jonathan, this is Yassini from BBC Afghan. This is second match in less than a week. I think it will help your side. And secondly, in last match, Azmatullah Omarzai emerged. It is also giving a hope. Also, captain played well. It is giving some sort of hope to you.
Pardon? What's the question?
It is giving to you some sort of hope that next game will be better than previous one.
Yes. I think it's one innings from Azmat. Let's make sure that, obviously backing that up is going to be crucial for him, and obviously looking towards the captain as well to put in another good performance. But it's not just those two, it's everybody's responsibility as well. So, starting with our two openers, and also with the ball, the two opening bowlers as well have got to start well and set the tone. So that it sets a platform for the likes of Azmat and for the captain to come in and express themselves and play. That's basically the way that they play. Last game, they still work. There's still sort of things to improve on in that performance as well. So all the guys know. So hopefully tomorrow is the day we get it right.
Can we expect any change in the side?
I'm not at the liberty to say that at the moment. Thanks.
Do you think Rashid Khan can cause a bit of mayhem tomorrow in conditions that should probably suit him?
I don't think Rashid needs the conditions to suit him to cause mayhem, does he? So, yeah, for sure. I know Rashid, can't speak highly enough about the guy, the way that he, performs here, and his passion for playing for the side. I know that he puts a lot of pressure on himself as well to perform and lead the attack, if you like. But it's the job of all the other guys who, when they have the ball in their hand, to cause mayhem and put a bit of pressure on England and make sure that they are hitting their straps and being really sort of calm, because it is going to be sort of a high scoring game, you would say, looking at the pitch in the previous two games. So it's a case of the other bowlers making sure that they just as high level and sort of switched on as Rashid normally is.
Jossie, what would count as a successful tournament for Afghanistan in your view?
I think if you look at a win column, I think that would be, looking at the previous two. I don't think you can judge it on that. I think for me, what I judge is our preparations. We've got to make sure that each game we're going into, we believe that we can win. And I certainly believe that every game we go into from here on in, we can win. That's probably we're not going to win all those games, probably, as history would suggest, but that mentality, I think, will have a good knock-on effect for competitions going forward in the future of the side, and just the sort of mindset of Afghanistan cricket and the way that they want to play their games. So I think that's how I would gauge that. And I obviously been disappointed with the Bangladesh game, but there was a lot of improvement in the India game. So each game, I want to see us improving and being, you know, better in all facets of the game, not just batting, where we probably should have got a few more runs the other night. You know, the bowlers have to step up as well in difficult conditions, but they also got to use the experience because all of them are, you know, very, very good bowlers.
Obviously 4 years ago was 4 years ago was a bit of a painful one when England beat Afghanistan at Old Trafford. Do you sense that England are as strong a side as they were then, or do you think the gap maybe has tightened a little bit between the two sides coming into this one?
I'd like to think it's tightened. I'd say that England are probably, you know, very similar place to where they were then. And I'd say that we've got a bit better as well. I think I'd like to think so. I hope so. And so that's why I'm, you know, very optimistic with tomorrow's game. You know, I'd like to see a good competitive match, and I know certainly the England side will respect, you know, the players we have in our dressing room or the side, and we respect them as well. But you know, there's no room for us, you know, thinking too far ahead and what's happened in the past maybe. It's all about tomorrow and making sure that we switched on when the game starts.
And it's been a year since the last game, the T20 match in Perth.
Yeah.
You were fresh into the job then. How are you kind of a year on, and what have you kind of learned and developed yourself as a coach over that period in charge of Afghanistan?
I don't think we had enough time for that today, but have to sum it up. It's been brilliant. I think the experience and, you know, working completely different culture and getting, you know, rolling my sleeves up and getting involved, and there's so many things to learn and different. I think it's great for a coach. I've really enjoyed this, learning cricket from another point of view, from, you know, in England or growing up in South Africa. It's, you know, it's quite similar. But, you know, coming to the subcontinent and getting involved in cricket here, it's another complete sort of thing. So, you know, it's brilliant, and you know, I enjoy coaching in that change room so much. And I just so desperate for the guys to do well and see the joy it brings to them. And you know, throughout the time that I've been coaching, we've achieved some things that hadn't been achieved in the past. We've beaten Pakistan in a T20 series. We beat Bangladesh in an ODI series, and the satisfaction you get from that, seeing the happiness on the players' faces, achieving things that hopefully inspire players and you know, boys and girls to take up the game and you know, represent their countries is something as a coach that's very rewarding. So there's other things obviously as well, but for I would say that's the main thing so far. I always have that in the back of my mind. I think it's with regards to Rashid, it's about getting the right timing for him to go out and bat with that license. And again, that comes with us having a good solid foundation and not going in and, you know, when being able to push him up the order is great, not waiting for the wickets to go before him and then having him to sort of control the innings like he did, you know, pretty well last game. It's about being able to have a good platform for players like Rashid or Nabi to go in and, you know, go from ball one or have a look for a little bit and then go. So, you know, that's the plan. The plan doesn't always work, but I'll keep it in the back of my mind. Thanks. Thank you.
Trotty, with all the with all the blood, sweat, and tears and hard yards you put in an England shirt over the years, can you take this as, you know, just another game and just another opponent to try and beat, or is there a bit more to it than that when you lining up against England?
No, there's no extra, you know, motivation. It's just another team that hopefully we can beat. There is sort of familiarity, I should say. And I find it a pleasure to play against England. Just like when I played for England against South Africa, I really enjoyed the challenge. So tomorrow is going to be a challenge, for sure. But nothing personal. There's no sort of agendas or anything like that. It's just another cricket match, and that's what I try and express to the guys. We obviously at a World Cup, there's lots of sort of distractions around and emotions that could come into play. But tomorrow is going to be exciting, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Chotty, we saw the players wearing black armbands in the last game for the victims of the earthquakes in Afghanistan. Could I just ask whether they're sort of all doing okay and what their frame of mind is around playing in a World Cup at what's obviously a challenging time for the country?
Yeah, for sure. And I think the players have been brilliant. Straight away when the news broke of the disaster, and straight away the players wanted to know what they could do. We had a team meeting, and a lot of players have donated from their match fees. A lot of players, I think Rash has donated all of his match fees from the World Cup, which is amazing. I know some of the senior players have a sort of foundation or a charity themselves that's raising money. So, hopefully all that money gets to places that can help and make a difference. Rescuing people or making a difference with their recovery. So, but as far as the players, they've been really good, and no one as such has been affected family-wise. But I'm sure their thoughts go out to their countrymen and women. Yeah. All good. Thank you very much. Cheers. Cheers, guys. See you tomorrow.